friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we will talk about clinical audits in healthcare, the steps, resources available, things to keep in mind, and how to turn this into a quality improvement project and how to get signed off and document the whole process. Let's begin. So, what exactly is a clinical audit? Simply put, it's a systematic review of healthcare practices to ensure that they align with established standards and guidelines, ultimately aiming to improve patient outcomes. Now, let's break down the steps of conducting a successful audit. As an outline, the steps are sevenfold. Number 1, identify the areas for improvement. Number 2, assess weight of the project. Number 3, define audit criteria. Number 4, collect data. Number 5, analyze the data. Then develop and implement an action plan, and then re-audit. Let's talk about each point in detail. Step 1, identify the area for improvement. This could be anything from reducing surgical site infections, for example, to improving medication reconciliation process. You can do this by these 3 ways. Number 1 is to a consultant. Number 2 is by visiting various websites. Number 3, by liaising with local audit department. Now, what do I mean by speaking to a consultant? Consult with your consultant or supervisor to identify specific areas in patient care or healthcare processes that could be optimized. This discussion could include reviewing recent patient cases, analyzing trends in outcomes or complications, or addressing any concerns raised by staff members or patients. By tapping into the experience and expertise of your consultant, who most likely have been there for a long time, you can pinpoint key areas where a clinical audit or quality improvement project would be most beneficial for your organization. Number 2, by visiting website. For example, I will put the links down in the description below. ICGP, which is Irish College of General Practitioners website. The ICGP website has a dedicated section for sample audits under their clinical/practice audits resources. They provide sample audit templates across various clinical areas. Another option would be RCS Ed website. This is the Royal College of Surgeons of Edinburgh website. This has an example on how to do an audit. Link down in description as well. It also gives an abstract example. Number 3, by liaising with local audit department. By collaborating with the audit department is another excellent approach for identifying areas for improvement. Collaborating with the audit department ensures that your efforts align with organizational priorities and strategic goals. They can help you prioritize areas for improvement based on their relevance to patient safety, quality of care, and regulatory compliance. Subsequently, speak to your audit department to register the audit. Now let's talk about step 2. Assess the weight of the project. You need to assess whether you are taking on more than you can chew. Try to get a rough idea how much paperwork you are looking at, how much data collection, and whether you will be able to do it all alone. If not, do you have enough willing colleagues to help you in the audit? Assess early and then commit if the goals are realistic. Set a standard. This can be local, national, international, or committee guidelines. Try to find the most relevant guidelines appropriate for your particular audit and set parameters in light of that particular guideline. For example, for VT prophylaxis, each trust will definitely have their own guidelines. You may pick up those parameters and audit your findings against those guidelines. Again, you can use artificial intelligence to find related research papers or guidelines. Most striking example is Perplexity AI, which has been proven of much use to me. I will put a link down in the description as well. Step number 3 is define your audit criteria. What specific measures will you use to assess the performance? It's crucial to establish clear and measurable targets. I tend to use Excel sheet to set these. If you cannot write it in a spreadsheet format, likely the project will be complicated. Try to write in numbers or yes/no questions and avoid subjective descriptors. Step number 4. Collect data. This might involve reviewing patient charts, conducting surveys, or analyzing electronic health records. Usually, most tedious part of the whole process is this part. Ensure to involve other team members for their involvement if we are talking about a lot of data. While collecting data, also make a spreadsheet regarding the re-audit if applicable. This way, the re-audit will be much simpler and quicker. Step number 5. Analyze the data. Look for trends, outliers, and areas for improvement. This is where the real detective work happens. You may use AI in this step to facilitate the process, but be extremely careful not to include any patient identifiers or any confidential information. I personally use a lot of AI software, not only limited to this use, that I will speak about in a different video. It's a good practice to express the results in Excel sheet and in graphs or charts. I'll discuss about basic Excel sheet skills in a different video as well. Step number 6. Develop and implement an action plan. Based on your findings, devise strategies to address any identified issues. This will include an action plan which you will plan and propose. This is a crucial step where by planning this and executing this and by performing another audit down the line, you transform this into a QIP or a closed loop audit. Last but not least, re-audit in an appropriate timescale. Once you have implemented your action plan and made improvements based on the findings of your initial audit, it's essential to monitor the progress over time to ensure sustained improvement and continued adherence to best practices. This is where the concept of re-auditing comes into play. During the re-audit process, you will revisit the same criteria and indicators used in the initial audit, plus minus some minor changes, to evaluate the performance and compare the results over time. This allows you to track progress, identify any areas of regression, and make further adjustments to your action plan as needed. Now you might be wondering, how do I get signed off on my audit project? For this, you traditionally need 4 things. It may vary slightly from trust to trust. Number 1, audit report. Your audit department should help you generate this. Basically, a summary of your audit. Number 2, audit certificate, again provided by your audit department upon full completion of the audit. Number 3, signed supervisor form. Your supervisor should sign this off, acknowledging this audit to be completed. Number 4, audit presentation. Traditionally, the PowerPoint presentation of the audit which you are expected to present in a local governance or departmental meeting. Of course, you can take it to a higher level and get more out of it, but I will probably discuss this in a later video. So there you have it, folks. A crash course in clinical audit and quality improvement projects in 10 to 15 minutes. Remember, audits are not just about meeting standards. They're about constantly striving to provide the best possible care for our patients. So go forth, get those audits going to improve their healthcare. If you have any questions, post them in the comments below and I will do my best to answer in a timely manner. Take care. Signing off.